Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking about that time I got reincarnated as a slime, volume 16 of the manga. So, real quick, I just need to go over a few things about manga versus anime versus light novel. So, first off, Slime Reincarnation is actually a light novel first and foremost. Unfortunately, I am slow with reading light novels, so as of right now, I currently only have the first one, and I haven't even read it yet. But I have been reading since the very beginning, well, not since the beginning, but pretty shortly after I watched the first season, I picked up the first volumes of Slime Reincarnation, the manga, which is actually very different from the anime. Not extremely different, but a lot of reworking of the order and stuff like that. And another thing that's kind of important to realize is that the manga is in a bit of a weird situation as it is. As, for those of you who are unaware, basically, Season 2, Part 2 just came out the exact same day as Volume 16 did over here in America. And, yeah, Volume 16 is taking place at the same time as Part 2 starts. Which, yeah. So, if you're just reading the manga, the anime is actually ahead of it almost constantly. So, yeah. It will probably remain ahead of it for a while. So, let's actually get to the review of Volume 16. So, to start off this volume, we get to see a lot more interactions between Rimuru and Veldora, basically explaining that how Rimuru brought Veldora back, put him into his new body, all of this jazz, and then the two of them spent some time in the cave learning about their new abilities, which, that's pretty standard, and also, Veldora got his new body, which you can see on the back cover right there, which, yeah, that's pretty cool. The only problem with this is that, if you've only read the manga or you've watched the show, the spin-offs that are out right now are actually ahead of this. Trinity and Tempest is actually behind. It's current, as of right now, I believe that it is in the war, basically the war between Falmouth and Tempest. Basically, Falmouth has just arrived. Rimuru is about to wipe them out. That is where Trinity and Tempest is, which, that is a great series, and I honestly suggest that you read that. But the other series, which is actually longer as of right now, Ways of the Monster Town, whatever it's called, is actually pretty far ahead of it. I'm not 100% certain on exact details of everything, because, like I said, I haven't read much of it except for the first chapter, or the first volume of that, but, yeah, that is taking place after even this volume. Probably a good while into the series, beyond what we currently have in the manga, or probably what we have in the light novel, actually, here in America, which is insane because there are 4 freaking volumes of Ways of the Monster Town, or Ways of the Monster Country, or whatever it's called, and it's kind of insane. Because by that point, Veldora is actually a functioning member of society, and actually runs a freaking stand, and I'm just thinking, how is this even possible? This must be really far into the future. But, yeah, Veldora is, if you've read that, he looks like he's a functioning member of society. I mean, sure, he's full of himself, but in this, he is basically just full of himself. He's basically Milim, except that he's a little bit more competent, which is not saying much, because Milim is incompetent in all ways. And Veldora is just continuing that trend, except the fact that he's actually been within Rimuru's stomach this entire time, and has been watching everything, so how is he this incompetent? Yeah. Basically, he sits around reading manga most of the time throughout the volume, which is just hilarious to me. But after we get the stuff with introducing Valdora back to everyone, we get some information about Clayman, and it's kind of revealing some stuff that I wasn't really expecting, to be honest. From what it's sounding like, Clayman isn't actually a demon lord by any standard. He's basically, if he is a demon lord, he is very low on the totem pole, and from what it's looking like, he is not a demon lord whatsoever, and hasn't ascended to that title, but is calling himself a demon lord as basically a way to control the other demon lords, which he has been doing, causing a lot of mayhem, taking complete control over Milim, which, yes, Rimuru's not going to be too happy about that, but Frey is also apparently being blackmailed by him, so she's being forced to serve him, which, oh boy, that's going to be fun. Yeah, I really hope that we get to see Clayman's destruction before too long. But, then we get to, we jump back over to dealing with the Western Holy Church. That's interesting, to say the least. But basically, a lot of chaos is happening, and we actually find out, surprisingly, that our little guildmaster from the stuff with the kids, yeah, he's apparently getting really involved, and actually is severely involved with the demon lords, possibly wanting to become one himself as of this point, which needless to say is a little bit worrying. But we also get to find out who one of the original two of the original demon lords were, that being the vampire, who is now serving the Holy Church for some reason, and I'm forgetting what her name is because she's complicated. But basically someone who serves our little guildmaster. So, yeah. Look forward to seeing how that's going to play out, because that's going to be insane moving forward. We then get to see what is going on with the prisoners. And oh my gosh, I didn't really think that they were going to go this far in the ways that they were going to punish these three, well, basically monsters for what they've done. The the wizard guy, Mount Majin, whatever he is, yeah, he's basically been turned into a disgusting conglomeration of things that I don't even want to show in the manga because it is terrifying. The king is being tortured by frickin' Shion? Is that? Or, yeah, Shion. And, basically, she is torturing him because of the fact that Rimuru had to fall from his place. Basically, he didn't want to hurt humans, to having to stain his hands with human blood, which I just... wow. And as for the priest, he's getting off pretty easily. Basically just hearing how the others are being... how it's being handled, and it's insane. Not to mention that the king comes in contact with Rimuru, who is none too happy. So, yeah. Things are not going too great. Just looking at things. It's not fun. From then, we actually get to see a lot more of basically a lot more interactions with the different countries, which honestly, that's one of the best parts of this series. Just how exactly is Rimuru going to unite monsters and humans? And he's been doing an actually really impressive job with now basically three kingdoms joining his side, with a fourth right around the corner because of the fact that it's going to be, well, taken over. A kingdom he is going to help with the takeover and basically the transitioning of power from an evil ruler to someone who's actually somewhat reasonable and actually able to talk to. I mean, Blumund and Dwargon were friends already. They also have the freaking monster villain, or not the monsters. The I'll just call them furries because that's basically what they are. The animal people. They've been joined, which has been a while, but now we get a third human kingdom, the fourth kingdom to be united, being that of, well, what's her name's kingdom? Erin's kingdom, which is really awesome because we actually get to meet up with her father and all of that jazz and see that he's quite a wizard, to say the least. And seeing how they interact and the explanation and basically how each of these kings and other rulers handle this whole situation, knowing that Rimuru is very powerful and another worlder, he could easily wipe them out, but they're not turning to be his allies out of fear. They're turning to him just because of the fact that, well, they know that he's not going to actually hurt them. He has great power, but as long as they are... He likes humans. He wants to create a unity between humans and monsters. He was a human. He understands both sides of the coin and both sides of this war, and he wants to make sure that it's not going to become worse. And that is something that all of these kings can actually attest to, and they can see what he's doing. These are the people that have learned about Rimuru and are now willing to stand with him. And it's honestly really impressive. Just everything that happens here. And they also explain that the way that they're going to handle it, in order to make it so that Rimuru doesn't seem like a bloody tyrant, considering the fact that he already has a bit of a history, people who know stuff know that he is the one who actually went out of his way to take down not only Charterbris, but he also took down the Orc Lord. The fact is that there's also other... Yom currently has all of these properties attested to him. And then when Falmouth attacked, he took them down, so they had to come up with a new story, basically saying that, well, Valdora is the one who actually did it, which, thank goodness for that, because Valdora is a bit of a chaotic... Let's just be honest, Valdora is completely chaotic neutral to the furthest degrees. He is not good, he is not evil, the only thing that he cares about is his friendship with, and that's it. There's nothing the only thing that is keeping him from causing more destruction is his friendship with Rimuru. And that is gonna be insane. If that history ever comes to light, honestly, I fear for the world, because they're gonna see that, one, Rimuru is powerful enough that he, alongside Milim, were able to defeat Charterbris. He alone defeated the Orc Lord, and he alone defeated Falmouth's army, basically single-handedly, wiping them all out and eating them to cause his Demon Lord status, which, oh my gosh, it's insane to think about that he's done all of this. I'm honestly really scared for the future of this series, but at the same time, I am so excited to continue to read it. And you can expect me to start doing reviews of every single volume as they come out. Also, something else to kind of expect, don't necessarily expect it every single time, but I'm also planning on doing a manga versus anime review of the of these first few these first few episodes, possibly. But maybe I won't, because this is actually a lot more connected to the light novel, which I have not read. But I might do some manga versus anime reviews of the first few chapters once they come out. Also, I'm planning to do some OP reviews and ED reviews. Obviously, My Hero Academia is getting that very soon, but I will also try to do one for Slime Reincarnation and possibly a few other series. But for now, let's just get ready for more chaos to come from this amazing series. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. If you guys have any thoughts or theories, please leave them down in the comments below. If you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review somewhere in your comment. And of course, if you guys do want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our social medias, our other channels, and ways you can support us financially, including the merch store, the book, and of course our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!